from Finland.
Hello! Today we would like to raise the question: is Finland the best country to raise children? Our top 10 reasons.
Number 1.
Maternity leave in Finland is paid and it lasts for 105 days, which makes it about approximately 4 months. After that starts a parental allowance, which lasts for 158 days, which makes about half a year. Either of parents can stay with their child during this time.
Yes.
And this allowance is depends on the income of the parent who applied for the allowance.
And the paternity leave in Finland is 54 days in total, which is about 9 weeks, of which 3 weeks you can stay with the mother at the same time.
Which was really great for us, because when Sebastian was born and I was super tired all the time and the birth have a bit of consequences, and Petri was super helpful and he was cooking for us and taking care of us for this time. It was really nice to be home all together and also bond with the newborn. And after you took another 6 weeks of your paternity leave.
Yeah, and we went to Thailand for a trip to enjoy the sun.
And in total, mother can stay with the child for 3 years, and it's a paid stay.
Yeah.
But it's then the minimum amount, which is about 600 euros, I believe, is the paid stay you can stay.
So it depends like which municipal you live in.
So till 3 years old, the government will still pay you something that you can stay with your child.
Number 2.
Maternity box. Probably you already heard of it because it's all around the internet. So maternity box is the invention which happened, I think, like 50 years ago in Finland, when government started to supply all mothers with the maternity box to fight the infants' mortality and mothers, I think, mortality as well, because it's a vulnerable time for both. So in this box there is everything you need for the newborn child, basically till the age of 1 almost. So there is inside some clothes, then there was a thermometer and like all kinds of things you need for your child. There was even this winter onesie which was for 1-year-old. So they were like a bit like bits of pieces of everything. And it also, especially if you don't have money for these things, so you have all the necessary things straight away. Even if you have money but you never had children before and you never took care of one before, it really helps to understand what newborn actually needs. Yeah, and you can take it as a maternity box or you take it as a money, like it depends on you. But many families in Finland, they usually take first maternity box, and with all the next children they just take it as a money because all the clothes is still in the family, so they don't need the same clothes again because they still have it. And every year I think they change it a bit. So every year comes different colors and different designs. It's always really pretty. And it's a bit of like a unisex style, so it fits for boys and girls. Just really colorful and beautiful. I will put some links down below so you can see what is inside maternity box this year.
Number 3.
Free education. Education is free in Finland for its citizens, starting from comprehensive school to the university level. Petri has been lucky to enjoy that.
Yes.
Because he's born and raised in Finland.
So the only thing you have to pay in high school is the books. Like everything else is free. But
It's
that's
very
the
nice.
only thing.
Do you have to pay for food, actually, for lunches?
No, it's all provided.
So there are lunches at school and they are free for children as well. Is it in all the states in the country?
Yeah. Everywhere
It's really cool.
the food is free. But if you don't want to eat in the canteen, then you have to pay yourself.
Yeah, of course.
Number 4.
Another interesting fact, that some of the children in Finland take taxi to school. When I found out about this first time, I was like, what? Are the Finnish people so posh that their children going by taxi to school? Really? But it is true. So there are some criteria why this happens. But for example, one criteria which I know for sure is that if you live somewhere in remote areas, like in the countryside, and the nearest school is far away and your parents cannot drive you there for some reasons, then a taxi comes and picks you up. Because every single child has a right for be educated at the school.
Yes. Number 5.
Free healthcare. So you only need to pay administration fee in a polyclinic or a hospital, and of course your own medicine when you are signed up to go home. Of course,
Yes.
if you're in a hospital and you're giving your medicine, that's for free.
Yes, of course.
Also, there are private clinics in Finland, and now our child is still less than 3 years old. For the first year of his life, we were a bit panicked with every sneeze he ever had, so we always wanted to check things out. So we took a private insurance for his health, and we were going to the polyclinics quite often, and I didn't want to queue, but it was totally worth it, because every time I panicked, I would just grab him, make an appointment, and then go see the doctor straight away. Nowadays, he doesn't get sick as often, and he can actually queue because he can play. So for first 3 years, it's very common that people take a private insurance and then they go to the private clinic, but most people we know, they just use the public healthcare.
Number 6.
The nature in Finland is at the doorstep. It doesn't matter where you live. Honestly, if it's a Helsinki, if it's a capital area, if it's any other city in Finland, the nature is always really close. When we live in the capital area, and it's very common when we at the doorstep can see a bunny or a hedgehog in the yard or some other nice creature of the forest. Basically, the parks and the small reservation areas are always nearby. The city is planned really wisely, that there is a lot of forest, and if there is some national park, most of the time it's even accessible by public transport.
Number 7. Almost every single household in Finland has their own playground for kids, and also the municipal has a public playground in almost every city.
And there are plenty of them. For example, in the capital area where we live, we have a public playground, which is usually bigger and nicer, like every 500 meters. So around our area, I feel like we have 5 public playgrounds where we can go. Some of them even have some toys in a box which you can play with. It's really great.
Number 8.
Public transport is free for kids until the age of 7, and from the age of 7 till the age of 17, they pay only half of the adult fare.
Number 9.
Finland is in generally very low crime country. It is very safe to be on the streets. It's easy to walk around. You don't need to be worried or scared of anything.
Number 10.
Finland has become very famous a few years ago about its best educational system in the world. So it happened about 5 years ago, if I'm not mistaken, and there was this international test which was testing the knowledge of the school kids, and Finland showed the best results. And then it led to a lot of researches and updates, and like in a nutshell, what I know about it, because I was helping to design future schools in Finland as an architect, is that children have a very little homework. Usually it shouldn't last more than 20 minutes, and they have different approach during the studying, so they try to find the right approach for every kid, how kid learn the best. And in general, they try to have a holistic approach to every science, so not just, for example, learning physics, but trying to combine it with all the other science and seeing how it works in a complex. It's very interesting. I cannot wait till Sebi goes to school and I can learn more about Finnish educational system firsthand.
Yes, we will see it.
So in the conclusion, any place can be good or bad. It all depends on your personal life situation and your attitude. Personally, I have felt both while living in Finland. I have been here a bit over than 10 years. So it can be either, but still, all in all, when I'm comparing everything that Finland has given us as a family, I still feel that this is a pretty good country to raise your child. What do you think, guys? Let us know, how is it working in your country? Does your country support you raising your children, and in which way? It's very interesting to know. Please leave your comments down below. Thank you.
Please like and subscribe.
Thank you so much for watching.
Bye.
See you next week.